All right. So with this one, interesting enough, there's so much to dissect from this in terms of what we want to talk about. But let's go ahead and get to what the actual news is, if I can. There's another variant that is becoming more prominent in South Africa, if I'm not mistaken, as well as some of the other countries. I believe Hong Kong was another one, Israel. Now, let me point out most of these have very high vaccination rates. Why is there a breakout of a new variant that seems to be scarier? And then when you consider what we have historically known about how vaccines in combination with pandemics, the fact that it's mutating into something that is claimed to be worse, when you consider, and I will say this, there are experts that were on the other side, they got laughed at the room, that suggested that y'all could, in terms of how they're using like vaccinations as a primary way to deal with this, could actually lead us to more of these variants. And they got laughed at the room, yet here we are. And of course, new variant, and all the scientists from the pharmaceutical companies come out and they say, "Oh, we're on it. We're on it. We are testing our vaccines on the new Modelo virus variant." And as mentioned right here, the European Union has blocked flights from several African countries. I believe that today the U.S. announced a little bit of that as well. WHO labeled the newly discovered strain as a variant of concern. And there's the B11529 variant, which was first detected in South Africa. Cases have been confirmed in Botswana, Belgium, Israel, and Hong Kong. Again, some of those having very high vaccination rates. While dozens of cases have been identified so far, news of the variant is already sparking fears around the world and rattling global markets. I wonder why. Is it because of the variant? Is it because of the variant, or is it because of you motherfuckers? I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. What else they say? Scientists in the BioNTech, of course, in the words of that dipshit from Young Turks, of course, have already started investigating the impact of the new Modelo virus variant on its COVID-19 vaccine, with data expected within the next couple of weeks. We understand the concern of experts and have immediately initiated investigations on variant B11529, says the BioNTech German company that partnered with Pfizer to make its COVID-19 vaccine. We expect more data in 2 weeks at the latest. Again, mentioning where it says it says the scientists are concerned that its unusually high number of mutations could make for more transmissible and result in immune evasion. BioNTech said the upcoming data would shed light on whether or not that variant could be an escape variant that may require an adjustment to our vaccine if the variant spreads globally. Well, I mean, that's not unlike what they try to do for the flu shot, which, again, it's also not a traditional what you think of as a traditional vaccine, where you only take one of it, and if you do get a booster, it's like in fucking 7 years or some shit. Like, that ain't what we're dealing with here. For whatever reason, it's the same thing similar with flu shots, which don't have high efficiency rates as well. But what they do is, or attempt to do, is guess what variant is going to be going into that year, and they slightly adjust it for to accommodate that. That's how it works, and it looks like that's the direction that they're going to move in with this. Now, I think some of this may have to do with the efficiency rates, and we know, look, it's not nearly as, I know they said safe and effective is the term that they continue to use, but the reality is this. It's not preventing transmission, as Dr. Michelle Walensky of the CDC has stated before. And these breakthrough cases aren't breakthroughs anymore. They're happening way too often. They're not exactly rare. And so I'm not here to say that I know exactly what's going on as far as this variant. I don't know if it's a case of, because they did it with Delta, it seems like, where it's like, oh, well, it's my Delta. Delta's the reason why these breakthrough infections are happening. And is this another case of them trying to see the writing on the wall and blaming it on a new variant with their efficiency? And now, they got to slightly adjust it. And the efficiency rating or rate of this is probably not going to be nearly as high as what they initially claimed. Now, again, why is that? I don't know. You tell me. But a lot of this, in terms of what I'm seeing, has been less about how deadly it is and more about transmissibility, infectious stuff. So it seems to get worse in that regard. And I don't know if it's getting worse in terms of like causing more hospitalizations or being like, usually they don't mutate into something worse like that anyway. So what's the cause? Some people blame the jab. Some people blame, of course, they're going to always blame the unvaccinated. That's what they have to rely on. But you can't really rely on these high areas with these high vaccination rates. They're still having these problems. But here we are. Now imagine this, and this is something to put your mind on, and maybe some of you guys are already thinking about this type of shit. You've lined up to get 17 jabs, or you got 3 to 4 by now anyway. Yeah, still these fools going to come back and tell you, no, you got to get another one. And this one's slightly different from the one you had. I don't care who you are. This shit is not normal. This is unlike anything that we've done. And none of this seems to make sense. So if people go put their tinfoil hat to try to figure out what the fuck is going on, well, that's kind of what they have to do, because it's not like y'all are telling the truth or being direct with it. And there's so many governments around the world and these pharmaceutical companies as well have a lot to gain by this can continuing to get perpetually kicked down the road. And it seems like just when you think people are starting to put it in the back of their mind and return to some sort of norm, say, oh, variant, new variant, got to freak you out again. Look, I don't think that's just a coincidence, I'm saying.
You just watched a clip from my podcast, For Canon's Sake. Catch us live at 12 p.m. throughout the week over at youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and follow us over at odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. If you want to watch the entire video cast after the show is over, just be sure to become a member on the YouTube channel. Of course, the full audio portion of the podcast is available for free on all major digital platforms, or just visit forcanonsake.com.